Hello, Joey here. Welcome back to my channel. I was recently tagged in a video by Mary from the channel The Honey Reads. She was inspired to create her own TBR journal after seeing mine, and I love how hers turned out. It's so pretty and well thought out. I'll leave the link down below in the description. You should definitely go check that video out. Besides making me want to burn my own journal and start again, which I'm not doing because this is already my second version. Not again. Her video reminded me that I never did an actual proper flip through of this. Also, please excuse my ink-stained fingers. I started practicing calligraphy the other day and I can't get it off. Do I look like a ye old scribe? This is the Galen leather zippered folio in the A5 size. I just have a few post-it notes of some book titles that I was interested in. Nothing here. I have old library cards, current library cards, my Barnes & Noble membership, and a rewards card for a local bookstore. Then I just stuck this in here for cuteness. I use in it only a Pilot V Razor Point in the extra fine. Love these pens. And the pink mild liner. Whatcha? Lift your heart out. I have a habit of becoming interested in a certain subject, and I will buy a ton of books on it, but I never actually read them. So I added this insert to keep track of how many I have for each topic, and the goal is to read the majority of each list before buying any more, something a sensible person would do. I could have put these lists in this journal itself, but I didn't want it to become too cluttered like my last one. It became cluttered anyway, but never mind. Japanese and Korean, Russian literature, Irish literature, French literature, Italian literature, German literature, and then foodie books because I'm a Taurus and I like to eat. So that's it for that. Look at this. It's terrible. This would be from the teeth of this zipper. If you're hoping to see a lot of pretty journal spreads, this is not the video for you. I do get a lot more creative with my actual reading journal, but for this, it's purely functional. I really need to talk to my therapist about this. It's insane the amount of series that I have started and have not finished. And I own all the books for them. I'm really interested in finishing them. I can't seem to make myself do it. Each book in the series is a dot, and I cross it out once I finish reading it. And then when I am finished with the entire series, I highlight it. And you can see I'm almost done with a few of these. But do you think I'll actually do it? No. There's so many more. There's so many more. One of the biggest reasons I would recommend doing a TBR journal is if you're reading series that take you many years to finish and you're having to transfer that list of series over, it can be a little tedious. This makes it a little easier because you use it as a companion to your reading journal and it stays constant, whereas your reading journal will change every year or however often you switch it out. And if this is crossed out, it means that I decided not to continue the series. Please tell me I'm not alone. Does anybody else struggle? I admire people who will read a series back to back. Like, how do you do it? These are all my unread YA and middle grade standalone books. If it's highlighted, it means I've read it. If it's crossed out, it means I decluttered it. And I went through last year and ended up getting rid of a ton of books that I knew I was never going to get to. Then I have adult standalone. Short story collections. I like the idea of being someone who reads the complete works of an author, and I chose Kurt Vonnegut because I really like Slaughterhouse-Five, but that's like really the only book of his that I've enjoyed. Are any of these that I haven't read from Kurt Vonnegut like worth reading? I mean, I'm sure they're worth reading, but would you recommend them? And then Roald Dahl's another one that I don't especially love his books, but I find them interesting. And I think I would have liked more reading them as a child. I think the only one I read as a kid was the BFG. And if it's partially highlighted, it means that I own it. And then we got Matilda's reading list. These books are from this list as well as the first edition of this book. I know I'm never going to actually read all these, but it's still fun to work my way through it. I don't use these pages anymore, so I just taped them together. middle grade and young adult duologies, adult duologies, middle grade YA trilogies, adult trilogies, 4 to 5 book series, so you can see I did get rid of quite a few, especially adult fantasy series. They are tomes, and there's a million of them, and I can't commit to that right now. We have Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters, an old TBR list, now I told myself when I started this to not put in books that I don't own. And of course, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't really consider all of the lists that I was going to include in here. This just kind of built up over time. Part of me wants to redo this, make it look a little prettier, and leave these lists out. But I'm resisting. I need you guys to help me stay strong. Tell me, no, you probably already have onset carpal tunnel. You don't need to redo this. I don't read a short story collection from beginning to end. I'll read a story out of it, and then years later I might read another story out of it. I also might jump around. This is helpful in knowing exactly how much of each collection I've actually read. I only have 2 short stories to read in this. They're very thin. Do you think I can do it? No. And then we have my current TBR. So this is the culmination of all the other lists. The series that I'm reading, the library books that I've checked out, standalone books that I randomly pick up. And then I have a continuation of my standalone list because I have a shopping addiction. Then a bunch of blank pages. And then we flip it around. Some more lists. These are books that I came across. God, 10 hairs. Stick those in the front. I made a copy of Stephen King's recommendation lists. It's a little messy. These were books to recommend to my boyfriend when he used to read. About 5 years ago, I deleted my entire Goodreads TBR. I had over 1,000 titles on it, and it was just too overwhelming. I would add books and forget why I originally wanted to read them. I took this format from my reading life journal. Instead of just writing down a book title that I will completely forget what it's about, I actually write down why I want to read it. I'll check it off when I purchase it, and then I'll check it off again when I read it. And I am using a key to show exactly what genre it is. And then if I mark it with the gray, then I think it's one that I would rather just get from the library rather than buying it. Oh, look, I actually read one. Wow. This was actually my first TBR. It's in a soft cover moleskine, and I set it up in 2019. Red Balloon Bookshop. If you are ever in St. Paul, Minnesota, check it out. Index. And I have not read any of these still. It's been, what, 6 years ago? That's insane. So the original idea here was to have a TBR going that had one from each of these categories. And then when I finished one of them, I could pick up another one. But I had to finish all of them before I could. I don't even remember. I made it so complicated. It's just reading. It's like, dude, just pick up a book and read it. You spend too much time thinking about what you're going to read next that you don't actually read. Let's see, have I finished any of these? I did that, yeah. It was only a 2-book duology, but I did it. Nope, 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 got rid of those. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, I read that trilogy. Very good, very good. Books to finish or abandon. American Travel Destination. Hey, I live here now. Wow. Super slim books. Oh, just to bolster my reading challenge. Monthly TBR. Oh yeah, I used to divide it up by the month. That's useless. Books that I feel like would work best in the spring or summer, then books that would work best in fall. Fall is like especially horror, winter, TBR reboot, kind of morbid. Books to recommend to my boyfriend who doesn't read anymore. Neil Gaiman. Oh, that didn't age well, did it? Books Fong might like, so I need to read, but he doesn't read anymore, does he? TBR reboot again. Oh, there's that page. I've been looking for that. Nice. Yeah, I wasn't going to rewrite these, so I ripped out the pages and then I rewrote them anyway. And then I missed one or two. I think I'm a few off. So now I have to figure out which books I missed on it. Books Fong has recommended. Oh, such a short list. Series, adult series, Jane Austen, TBR continued, adult standalone, Penguin Little Black Classics. I always forget about those. And that's it, I think. I had to record this because I have a lot of pen and ink content coming up, and I felt like I've been ignoring all my bookish people. Do you use something similar to this? Do you keep a reading journal? Again, please go check out The Honey Reads. Her journal looks so much better than this. I'm actually thinking of stealing a few of her ideas, like keeping track of percentages. Ooh, math. Arr. I hope you will consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. The glory days. This is crazy. Why do I like to waste so much time? This is how my brain is. It's kind of sick. This journal is like the opposite of me. I'm pretty, but not very functional. I hope all of that made sense.